catch 'em all.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy Lucid, and in today's video we're going to do a really in-depth look at the Astro C40 controller. So I did just do a video on this, but the audio got pretty messed up in it, and I don't know what happened. I do apologize for everyone that's seen that video. The audio, I don't know what happened there in rendering, but instead of doing like another unboxing, we're just going to do a really in-depth look, and hopefully the audio is going to come out a lot better and be a little more high quality for you guys, and I know that's what you deserve. So that's what we're going to try to accomplish today. I do have a few other controllers I brought today to do kind of a comparison with of my own controllers, along with around 10 to 11 hours of gameplay on the controller, so I'm able to give a little bit more feedback on it now and kind of do like a mini review. I kind of want to hold the review until like a week of using it, but I will still give some insight. Bam. Okay, this is the box that's going to come in. Astro always does a really great job with their packaging and the benefits of that. So we're going to go ahead and look a little further into that now. Boom. So this is your travel case. Astro's Duke. The C40 does come with its own travel case, which is absolutely amazing to me. I mean, these controllers are, you know, directed towards a lot of people doing competitive gameplay or wanting to do competitive gameplay, increase their game overall. I mean, honestly, the controllers, it doesn't matter what company, they're based to increase your ability to play the game, more specifically first-person shooters, battle royales, etc. But can really help in any game, I guess. But for me, I stick to Call of Duty, Apex. I don't really do Fortnite, but battle royale games and Call of Duty. That's my niche. When you open the case, there she is. It is an absolutely stunning controller. It looks absolutely amazing. Really have nothing negative to say in any way about that. The controller is a lot bigger. I'm going to move this to the side real quick. It's a lot bigger than your standard PlayStation controller, which for me is a really big plus because I've got big hands. So it's nice to not constantly, how's the best way to show this? Yeah, my hands literally wrap all the way around the bottom of it. So that's the big plus. But going forward with that, I honestly gotta say, so I put, like I said, about 10 to 11 hours of gameplay on this controller yesterday, and it felt great. My hands weren't tired, they didn't cramp. We were able to put a lot of grind to it. As I stated before, I've been a PlayStation guy for a long time, and back in the day, your bumpers were your triggers, and I've just always stayed with bumpers. So the controller is definitely, you can tell it's meant for you to use your triggers. It's the ergonomics of the controller are just perfect for it. And I think after BO4 we'll probably end up, you know, starting to work on using our triggers instead of our bumpers. The only con I could really find on this controller was the bumpers on this are pretty small in comparison. So as far as width goes, it's kind of hard to tell there, but when your hands are on it, you're more on the sliver right here than you are there. So you're sitting like this, and unless you're like full wrap on this thing, you're gonna be hitting these most of the time, the edges. And every once in a while, when you get startled or something, you'll accidentally pop the trigger off. But other than that, and like I said, it was such a minor thing, and you know, in that adjustment stage with the controller, that I feel like it's a very, very minor con. As you guys know, it's got 2 rear buttons. I felt like they could have done seesaw buttons, but I completely understand why, and I'll get a little further into that in just a minute on why they didn't. But I've got mine programmed to left button being X, right button being O. So playing BO4, jump and slide, or Apex, jump and slide. So other than that, one of the questions I got a lot during the live stream last night is the sticks. How do the sticks feel? So on your standard PS4 controller, right here, this is a cinch controller, but everything else is standard other than my rear buttons, which are the same as Battle Beaver's. It's just, you know, it's a small button. The sticks feel exactly the same. I mean, they're nice, they're tight, they're well tensioned. You know, these controllers are a little more worn out, so it's kind of just a little more floppy. And then I've also got this controller right here, which is a Battle Beaver. I've used this controller for a really long time until it just couldn't handle anymore. And it's got 4 rear buttons. So inside and then outside. But this one has actually increased tension on the stick. So my right stick has increased tension. It's just a little more than what the Xbox 360 controllers were. And when I got this controller, I was super excited about this. You know, a little bit more steady of a shot, etc. But I quickly found out that the sensor wheels on tension sticks go out extremely fast. I mean, you're going to replace sensor wheels every single month. This controller has the 360 tension in this stick, and I've replaced this sensor wheel 5 to 7 times this year. This one I literally had to replace every month. It was absurd. Other than that, the controller seemed to do pretty well. The X button, this button right here, ended up going out completely. It just kind of misfires a lot. Other than that, it's completely remappable. And what I can tell you is this controller costed a lot more than this one. This one, I think it comes out to be like $250 to $275, if I remember correctly. With the tension sticks, smart triggers, 4 rear buttons, and remappability, plus the little bit of custom details. Yeah, it was more than this controller is. So keep that in mind. Okay, so for you guys that don't know what sensor wheels are, I'm going to show you because I have so many from repairing them all the time. That little bitty piece, it goes inside the joystick, and basically it starts misreading, and that's where you get stick drift. And like anyone that plays a lot will know what I'm talking about, where you can not touch the sticks, but there's, you know, on your screen it still moves. So that's what that comes from. So this one does not have sensor wheels, and with that we're going to dive into the inside of this bad boy. So you have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just goes to show their attention to detail right here. Being someone that's worked on a lot of PlayStation controllers, losing screws can be really annoying. You can be super careful, but every once in a while it will happen. These screws don't come out of. Stay in it. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's those little bitty details that Astro's known so well for, and they do such a good job. So here is your joystick. There's your sensors on the bottom. And those connect to these sensors on the controller. And then you can, as they've shown, you put it in and it slides into a little slot. You can see the 2 dots on the edge there. You take them, and you'll hear it click. Right, let's put it up. So yeah, you hear that little click. It's in place. Take this one. Click. Okay. And oh, did we get it right? Yep. Voila. Now, one of the other major benefits. So all things, no matter what, wear down with wear and tear. That's just how it goes. Over time, with the extreme amount of use, they're going to wear out. No matter how good the product is, that's just how it is, especially in electronics. So when these joysticks do lose their tension and they start to wear, what are you going to do? Astro came up with a great plan for this. They said, okay, well, let's make joysticks that when officially do go out, for instance, this controller has to retire. It's not a sensor wheel issue anymore. It's literally the joystick is just too worn out. Sensor wheels aren't gonna fix it. It's just shot. So this whole controller now, unless I was to resolder a whole new joystick module, is shot. It's gone. It's done. With this, my joystick goes out. If you don't have a warranty, all that, which I'll get into that part here in just a bit. You spend $20 instead of $200, and you take this joystick out, boom, pop the next one in, and you have a brand new joystick. So the thing about the tension and the sticks is they're replaceable. You don't have to toss the whole controller when you know that happens. And that's huge. To me, that is such a big factor. They built this controller in the idea of saving you money in the long run. Definitely one of the big features on this thing is its ability to be adaptive, and they succeeded extremely well there. So you've got your wired and wireless connection right here. You've got your mode 1 and mode 2. Now mode 1 and mode 2, so say you wanted XO, and then you wanted also to have X and square. Well, and you wanted to have a higher tension and then a lower, or not tension, a higher sensitivity and then a lower sensitivity class. All you would have to do is switch back and forth right here, and it's actually pretty accessible, just holding onto the controller. And I was extremely impressed by that. The gripping on the side feels extremely nice, and the longer you use it and the hotter your hands get and the more friction there is, it definitely grips more and more. The controller itself has a very nice soft touch to it. I mean, it literally feels soft. It's wild. One of the biggest things, absolutely biggest things, and I've got both here to show. So I've got the Astro cord that it comes with, and I've got a Astro cord that it comes with, and I've got the standard cord that goes with the PS4. So this is how your PS4, I play wired, so it's always like this. And one of the biggest issues I had is when I set it down, it sits directly on that wire. It doesn't catch these, it literally sits on that wire, and that causes this to push up. You see how it's so loose right here? You can literally move it around in there, and it just ruins the cord and the connection to the controller. Like you can move it side to side, like this is constant non-stop issue with these controllers. It drives me absolutely nuts. Scuff did the same thing that Astro did, and that's this. This is beautiful. If you are someone that does not play wireless, that does not play wired, then you're not going to appreciate this as much as people that do play wired, and people in the competitive scene or that are just very serious about gaming and that low latency connection. They're gonna love this. So into the awesome finer details of Astro. You can see where it's like soft and or it's slick and shiny, and then it goes to the rest of the texture of the cord, which is a very rugged, intense cord. When I'm doing wire management, I always know when I touch an Astro cord because it has this texture and it's just a super rugged cord. Now this goes in perfectly here, and it fits snug, and it goes way in there, and click. No movement. There's nothing to move. Like, look, I move the controller. I'm not moving the cord, just the controller. Not up, not down, nothing's moving. It is snug, it is secure, and it is always connected. So there is a noticeable difference in the time of latency between this controller or any of my other controllers, including the standard PS4, the Cinch, and my Battle Beaver. This has a lower latency, and you can literally tell it. Like, it's enough to, if you game a lot and you're really always paying attention to this, you will actually notice that slight difference. So last but not least, we're gonna dive into the actual box itself. You can see I've got one of my control freaks sitting here. That's because one of my biggest concerns when buying this controller was the cap system on the sticks. I was so afraid that one was gonna fall off. I can assure you, they don't fall off. They literally clip on there and they're not coming off. And then it just clips back on, nice and easy. Well, hear that click? Yeah, these things, they go on and they stay on, no joke. This right here is your wireless transmitter, and it will work on PC or PS4. And it just slides in its nice little slot right there. This slot is for an extra joystick module. So like if you're going to compete at a LAN and, you know, just in case you want to go ahead and have that module in case, you know, you did have any issues, bam, they've got room. Also, for my control freak nuts, I've got a whole handful of control freaks here, and Control Freak sells their own carrying case for control freaks. But if you didn't want to buy one of those, you can very simply, very easily, and very nicely stuff this thing full of control freaks. I mean, there's literally a lot of room over here, and yes, it will fit in there with these in there. You gotta slide them to this end with no issue at all. But, and it's not fitting because of this. So, but like I said, if you have that padding, it doesn't like having a control freak on it. But if you don't, if you take the padding out, there's not going to be a problem. So I wanted to kind of show that little piece. Also, your cord for your controller is going to come in right here. Like I said, it's a very, very nice cord. If you're traveling around and stuff, you could put that. You could put your Astro cord, your daisy chain links, anything you want in here. There's actually a pretty good amount of room. It's extremely nice and extremely well thought out. So now we're going to go ahead and take a little teaser look on to the software. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and take a peek into the software here. We're on my laptop. So we're going to take our Astro controller cord that it comes with. I'll plug it in to the side of my PC here. We are going to open Astro C40 TR configuration software, which you can download on their website very easily, pretty simple. So alright, make sure it's on wired mode, which mine always is, and then we just slide our connection in. Goes in there real nice and secure, and bam, picked it up immediately. So simple, so easy. So we'll go to default profile right there, view profile. So we're gonna take this, so mapping, at the very bottom, UL and UR, that's on my rear buttons. So my left is X, my right is O, Everything else is exactly the same, but technically if I wanted to change it, I could change it to anything I wanted to. I could change circle into the up arrow if I really felt like it. So that's kind of cool things that you could think of, you know, that would just be kind of like different and imaginative. Bam, it lets me know there is an update. So we're gonna do that, but not right at this moment. So we're gonna go to our sticks. So this is our stick tension. Right? And it does pick it up if you decide to move it around. Say, you know, like offset it, it does show it as offset. Now, let's show you some other little features this bad boy has. So let's say we want max sensitivity. Bam. We're gonna move this thing all the way up. So the cool feature on this is simply the fact that if you, like for me, I usually play on a 9 or a 10 sensitivity for BO4. But say like sometimes 10 is just a little too fast, but 9 feels a little slow. Why can't there be at 9.5? Well, if I really wanted to, I could go in here and play with these settings and turn it into a 9.5 with the controller. So it gives you, again, more control of what you're, you know, of the game you're playing, and allows you to succeed however you want to. So like, and you can tell like just a little bit of pressure, it moves, but it has that tiniest bit of dead zone. So it's like trying to predict the movement I'm gonna make. But as you can see, just and look, it. So the white dot is where I'm actually moving it, but because I've upped the sensitivity, the red dot is where it's picking it up at. So less movement to hit 100. So right there, it's at 100. So it gives you that greater control. That thing going crazy. It's going crazy. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and back it back down, because I already have one profile set to this. Yeah, clear changes. Ding, we're back to new. Alright, I do actually need to play around with this. Triggers. So we're going to take our trigger stops off, which are right here. We're going to slide them down. And you can clearly see the trigger pull, everything. It doesn't have this for the bumpers. But I mean, the bumpers are so like nice and solid, and they're just such a good clean click that they really doesn't need it. So what we're actually going to do here is we're going to take our triggers and max these out. So we're going to do this, and we're going to have trigger stops, and I am going to keep this on here. Boom. Okay, so that's how I like to have my triggers. So again, the white dot is where my trigger actually is. And that's where it's at. Same with this one. Now we're going to put our trigger stops on. And that's where it's actually going to fire at. So I mean, these things fire really smooth. So yeah, that's your trigger system. So the trigger stops on, that's all your pull is. So it's literally half the pull. Alright, so we're going to keep those changes. We're going to go here, we're going to hit sync to controller. Syncing that. Bam, so this part is done. Now this thing has an audio. I don't really use this. I use the A40, so I have my mix amp and all that. But for people that do, it has an equalizer setting in the controller. And a mic volume. Holy cow. Look at that. You can literally go make the same settings that you make in your A40 Astro Command Center inside the controller. Mind blown. Like, I seen this and I could not believe that. I don't know if it's a little mix amp in there or what it is, because, you know, Astro used to have like the mix amp that hooked into the Xbox controllers. So I don't know if that's what they've got going on here, but that is insane and absolutely awesome. Astro doing their thing, like the littlest things. Now, we're gonna go into effect. One of the things I was hoping for is you could change your LED. I'm sorry, it's such a little thing, but I just think that would be absolutely awesome. You cannot. So FYI, it is white when you're hooked into PC, or no, it's orange when you're hooked into PC, and I think white when you're in PS4. One of the two. But anyway, or white on wireless, orange on wired. One of the two. But it's either white or it's orange. One or the other. So that's supposed to be off. I keep my rumbles off, but I just don't like them. But if you wanted to, you could put it on 10. 10. And why not? I always turn vibration off anyways on the game, so why not? And bam, you've changed all these different settings. You can change your LED as well. So we've synced all this stuff. We're gonna hop over here to the controller. We're going to switch to profile 2, and I mean, it is literally instant. Like, the switch on this is just instant. It's wild. And yesterday I was kind of playing around with like the maxed out sensitivity. So we're gonna go here. Our mapping, again, still the same. But if you wanted to change it, you can change it to anything you possibly wanted. Wait, I'm curious. Okay, other than L2 and R2. You can change it to anything but L2 and R2. So if I wanted to use these to shoot instead of my bumpers, I actually could do that. That's kind of crazy. And then wait. And then I could change these to X and O. Wow, that's actually kind of a neat idea. Might have to try that one day. Possible video. Who knows? Sticks. So my sticks are on this one. It's almost maxed out, and kind of not a fan. It just like it ramps up so fast. But so what I'm gonna actually try today is lowering it. So we're going to try going just below the line. So maybe when we play some blackout and pop off with a sniper, maybe it will help a little bit. I don't know. We're going to give it a try though. Oh wait, no, it's my left stick. Okay, so wait. Clear changes. We're going to keep the left stick exactly the way it is, because that's not really going to mess with shooting. That's just like your movement, your strafe speeds and stuff. And then we're going to take this one, and we're going to go just below the line, across the board. Actually, you know, we're going to go a little bit more. I want to see how noticeable the difference is. Now, I'm doing this on my laptop, so the ability to be super accurate here is not there. Okay. Why not? Why not try this? We're gonna, boom, again, sync to controller. And ta-da! Instantly change that. Right there. Triggers are maxed out all the way, like I told y'all before. Audio, I don't use this, so it's exactly the same, and rumbles are off. LED is at 100%. So, alright, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did enjoy this video, like I said, I'm sorry about the last one. I don't know what happened to the audio. I feel really bad, and I'm honestly just a little disappointed that it went out like that. So I hope this one helps you guys. I hope this one's better for y'all, and I hope y'all really enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, guys, please smack that like button. If you're new, you've never been here before, hit that sub button. We do Call of Duty content, funny videos, a lot of live streams. We live stream every single night, videos every other day. We're trying to always keep content coming out, keeping everyone happy. That's usually my goal here. So until next time, guys,